Hey, look, I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying, don't shoot the messenger. I give you my opinion on dream interpretation. Be careful of relying on your dreams. And in fact, I'm going to say, for the vast majority of us, our dreams are almost entirely, completely, not completely, but almost, that's the key word, unreliable. Why do I say that? I say this because there are two factors that are contributing to your dreams, that are making your dreams appear to be the way they are, and they're often overlooked. They're completely overlooked by us, and so we see these dreams, we start to give them meaning, we start to give them some kind of this must mean something, this is relevant, some kind of a relevancy, right? Meanwhile, these dreams are a lot like most of our thoughts. They're just rubbish, random, and they are being manifested because of several underlying factors, thus making them unreliable. So, number one, and I'm gonna give you a story on that really made me aware of this, is bad food equals bad dreams. Let me come up with a story at you and then explain to you more. So, back in Thailand, I was in Thailand for 7 to 8 months. I had a period of time where I was eating super clean, super clean, super simple, super clean. I was drinking pineapple juice, coconut water. Although that specific period I wasn't drinking coconut water, it was more pineapple juice, mangoes, mango shakes, watermelon. So I had a period of time I was doing that, and everything in my system was clearing up, right? My nose, my sinuses, my breathing, especially my breathing. And with it, if you are sensitive and you notice and you observe, with it, your dreams clear up. You have less dreams, and when you do have dreams, they are generally tend to be just peaceful, right? Just peaceful, or nothing alarming, not nightmarish, not bad, just, peaceful or insightful, right? And so I had to leave Thailand to Malaysia for a couple of days because of the visa. You have to go renew your visa, so you have to leave the country, come back in. And I went to this hotel, and it was a remote hotel in Malaysia, right? In a remote area, not, it's on the outskirts of Kuala Lumpur. So it's quite far still from Kuala Lumpur. It's another 40 minutes by car, right? I wanted to be as close to the airport as possible. I didn't want to go to the city. I had an airplane to catch the next day. So I was bored. I got there early and I was bored, right? And usually when I am making those little trips, like a day, 2 day trip, I'll go for a walk. I'll go walk around, right? And for entertainment, I'll grab something at least either healthy or semi-healthy, just for entertainment, right? So when I went to Chiang Mai, I had to be in Chiang Mai also. It's part of the, I stayed in Chiang Mai for one day, then had to go to Malaysia. I got myself some durian, okay? They have all these wonderful durian places. So I go for a walk in Chiang Mai, and then on the way, I grab durian, right? Just for entertainment, Yeah, you got a day to kill. So I had no means of entertainment that day. There was nothing. No supermarket, nothing near me at all, nothing. So, the hotel had a restaurant. So I am bored out of my mind. I don't know what to do. I can't even go for a walk because there's nothing around, not even sidewalks, nothing. And I was like, let's go to the restaurant here, kill a couple of hours and get some entertainment, eat something for entertainment. So, I go to the restaurant, and it's very basic food. It's just restaurant food. French fries, like just fried stuff, right? Like fried vegetables, French fries. I hadn't had that food in a while. Right? It's been a while, so the sensitivity level is high. So I'm like, I'm bored. I want some for entertainment. So I got some fried food, right? French fries. I got a lot of French fries that day. Ketchup. And just like basically restaurant junk food. And I ate it, Needless to say, I didn't feel physically good after, and I thought maybe that's the end of it. So I go to the hotel. I'm drugged up on the food, watch some stuff. Just to kill time. I just need to kill this day, and then I need to leave the next day. Whew. Then I go to sleep, and man, I had hellish nightmares. Like hellish nightmares, just nightmare after nightmare after nightmare after nightmare. It was a very bad night of sleep. And when I woke up the next day, I was like, made the connection. I was like, whoa, that must have been the food, right? So it makes sense if you connect it. Let me make the connection for you here. So you put in toxins in your body, a lot of them, a ton of them. So what happens is this: the body begins to deal with them immediately, right? It begins to try and get them out of the body. Some things it will store, some things it will put aside for a little bit. The body in its intelligence. And then what happens at night? The reason why we heal so much at night is because that's when the body puts the most amount of energy into processing either the previous day's input, or previous weeks, previous months, even previous years, depending on what the body has to do that night. But basically, the healing, the filtering out of the toxins, the majority of it, the most energy is put into it during the night. When do our dreams happen? During the night. So, when you eat something, it carries memory with it. Yeah? It has memory. So when I ate those foods that particular night, not only did I intake toxins, but I also took in information. Memories, right? I mean, everything, even the driest of things have some water in it. Water stores information, it stores memory. But it isn't just about the water, it's just overall things store memory. Yeah? And so when you eat bad food, not only are you taking in toxins that have to be processed, you're also intaking certain memory. And if you are taking in something junky, right, or something that wasn't prepared with care, with love, with tenderness, or somebody was angry while making that food, you're picking out the memory and you're taking in the toxins. So guess what? When you're sleeping, those toxins and memories are manifesting and expressing themselves in a particular way, in many ways, and one way happens to be bad dreams. Okay, bad dreams. I had nightmares that night. Nightmares, and I was so sensitive to it because I had been on a period of cleanliness and just not only feeling clean, but everything just felt nice and peaceful, right? I wasn't having any nightmares, I wasn't having any bad dreams. And it really came to my attention that day that there is really something to that. And I paid attention since then, and man, this is, you gotta really observe this for yourself to believe this. But really, there's a strong correlation. When I notice if I go on periods of cleanliness and then I intake something that it is just not good, it's toxic, then not always, but noticeably, I will experience bad dreams or even worse, nightmares the day after eating those foods. Happened to me recently, actually. So, another time that I catch this happening is if I am doing like a water fast. Usually this happens on the first day or the first 2 days, when the body is doing the most amount of healing, and there's the most amount of toxins that is being healed, is usually the first couple of days on a water fast. I will notice I will experience sometimes bad dreams also. Then by the third, fourth day, there's not much dreams, and it's just there's a sense of peace when I sleep. Okay, so it's this combination of toxicity, toxins being really released to the bloodstream during the nighttime, combined with the bad memory of some of the foods we eat, equals bad dreams. How are you gonna rely on those bad dreams if you're eating bad food and your body is toxic? Tell me, how are you going to rely on your dreams? They are completely unreliable at this point. Now, there is another factor just as important that also taints our dreams and makes them unreliable, and that is our deep stored traumas and fears. Okay, and I'm gonna give you another story about this. So let me jump in. Stories are good. They're good examples. They demonstrate the point pretty quickly. So another example that I had. So I grew up in a pretty rough culture, right? A culture of violence, domestic violence, street violence. Everybody treated each other with physical and emotional violence. Okay, so I was beaten up, as many Middle Eastern children were, beaten up by my father. And that's just the way it is. My father was beaten up by his father. It's a generational curse. And when I left home, when I was 18, I left home. I got my own place. I went to university, and since then I just lived by myself. And now I have a lady. So, but you know, again, since I was 18 until about a year ago, 2 years ago, I lived alone. Right, I lived by myself, and especially when I started living by myself, I had recurring dreams of my father either hitting me or arguing with him. Okay, and I had those dreams. They kept popping. They were recurring dreams. Now, how am I supposed to rely on those dreams? Am I supposed to say, oh, you know, my father is going to do something bad for me even now? No, what was happening is there was a deep-rooted, deeply stored trauma and fear and resentment deep inside my cells, deep inside the waters of my cells. And they were simply expressing themselves in this recurring dream of arguing with my dad. Until I was about 23, I was doing a lot of like inner work on my forgiveness specifically. And I truly, really forgave my dad. I was like, I saw how he was beaten up by his dad. I saw how he's just doing what he thinks is best. This is how you raise children in the Middle East. And I truly, from my heart, and up to this day, I forgive him. I let go of it. I was like, wow, I see he doesn't really want to do this. He's just doing this because his dad did it and he thinks it's the way to do it. In fact, my father has expressed in his older days, he's expressed remorse for that. He realized that was not the way he was supposed to do it. But that was way after the story I'm telling you right now, right? But anyway, so I really truly looked at like the situation for what it is. I was like, wow, poor him. He's just another human caught up in the matrix, has his own fears, repeating the traumas that happened to him. He just didn't know how to release himself from it. And I forgave him. And guess what? Those dreams completely stopped. So you could make the argument that recurring dream, particularly of arguing with my dad, was relevant in the sense that it was trying to bring to my awareness that I have a deeply rooted fear that I perhaps should look at and release. In that sense, it is relevant. But in the sense of trying to interpret, what does this dream mean? You know, this must be significant. Maybe I should be careful of my father because he might do something bad to me this year or next year, you know, or trying to interpret those nightmares after eating a bad meal, or while my body is releasing toxins to my bloodstream. You see what I'm saying here? To be able to really interpret dreams, because yes, believe me, dreams can be meaningful, and they are one way to communicate with the other side of the world. What I mean by the other side of the world, the other side meaning the unseen world, okay, the spiritual worlds. They're one way to communicate for sure. And just because you eat bad food, and just because you have deeply rooted fears and traumas, does not mean you're not having some significant dreams. I'm not just completely invalidating, saying, well, clean up your diet, clean up your body, clean up your emotions, and then maybe you can make some significant meaning from your dreams. No, I'm saying even now, everybody's getting some meaningful dreams. Some communication with the other side, some dreams, some intuitions, etc. However, when you're eating bad food, or your body's toxic, or when your emotions are toxic, you just have fear, deep-rooted fears, then the vast majority of your dreams, same as your thoughts in that case, are rubbish and have no meaning, and they're just toxicity and bad memories being expressed and repeating on loop. Okay? So when you begin to decrease the impurities in your mind, the impurities in your emotions, the impurities in your body, you have a higher chance of discerning the meaningful dreams. You see, that's what I'm saying here. Otherwise, dreams, there's a thing in yoga, particularly in the Tibetan tradition, called dream yoga. And it's a way of achieving higher states of consciousness through your dreams, right? So dreams are powerful. I'm not denying that. I'm not invalidating that. But what I'm saying is, if you want the highest chance, the highest probability of discernment of which dreams are meaningful, which dreams are significant, then make sure you clear out the impurities in your emotional body, in your physical body. Stop eating as early as you can throughout the day, as early as you can, as far away from sleep time as possible. These days I stop eating 8 hours or so before sleeping. I stopped drinking everything, water, everything. I stopped drinking like 6-7 hours before bed, okay? Believe me, when you do that, and if what you're eating and what you're drinking are as pure as possible, you're rarely going to... Now, these days, I rarely have bad dreams, rarely have nightmares. It's rare. It's rare. And I heard, I can't verify this because it's not from personal experience, I can't verify this, but I heard when you become very clean in your thought, when you become very clean in your body, in your emotions, I heard that your sleep is mostly just like peaceful. You don't really get much dreams to begin with. It's just, you get the odd dream here and there, and I would even say at that point, there may be something to that, but if that's true, I would say at that point, you're in a very good position to interpret your dreams, because if you're not getting all that, many of them to begin with, if you're just experiencing this peace and rest during sleep, and again, I can't verify this because I still get dreams. I'm not really at the level of cleanliness. I'm working through things. I'm working through emotional things and physical things, okay? But you understand what I'm saying here. The purer you become in thought, in emotions, in body, the more discernment you have available to you to be able to make meaningful connections to your dreams. Okay? So that's about it. Hopefully you got something out of this. I would like to send my deepest gratitude to the generous souls that donate to this channel. I have a link down below in the description if you're interested to do that. I also do consultations. If you'd like to book a consultation, the link is down below in the description. Mwah! I'll see you guys in the next video.